Hello, hello. So we are going to do this junk journal from the magazine Flow, which is a magazine I love because there are many different papers, very nice colors in it. And this journal will have many pages, pockets, and all done from the same magazine. It's a nice project because it's repurposing the Flow magazine. It's a TN size. It fits in the standard traveler's notebook, the Japanese journal that I'm sure everybody knows. And you can use it in there, it's nice and fluffy. Or, of course, for those who do not want to use it in a TN or don't have a TN, you can use it on its own. So the first thing that we're going to do is cut the magazine. So the width of the magazine you will keep will be the height of the journal. So cut where you need to cut. And just go very smoothly with the cutter. Go like many times without pushing too hard. Because if not, everything will move around and it will be difficult. So do that until the spine of the journal goes away, and then you have a stack of very well cut pages of all the same format that we are going to use to do the pages of our journal. First step of the project will be to create the cover. So you can use like the cover of the magazine itself, which is quite rigid, or within Flow there are a few pages that are more like cardstock, for example this one here, that you can also use to do the cover. So now we are going to resize the cover. The width needs to be equal to the one of your TN journal, so about 23 centimeters. The height will not need to be adjusted because it corresponds to the pages that we have already cut when we've cut everything together. So you can fold your cover in half, and we will decorate it including the back. So now that the cover is finished, we will put it aside and work on building the pages of the journal. So what we're going to do, you are going to go through all the magazine pages that we have and make two stacks, one for the pages of our journal and one for all the bits and pieces that we will use afterwards in our journal. So the first stack of pages need to be quite with large images to be used. So for example, this first page is really nice, it's big, and the back side is also nice, so we can keep it and do a page in it. This one, there is just an advert and I've got nothing special on it, so I'll discard it. On this one, for example, I really like the top blue parts, which can be cut and make some like nice colorful piece of paper for collages. For this one, well, I'll keep this Chanel cream for my wrinkles, so that will be perfect. And then you go all this way. So this page, for example, is both sides very nice, so it makes us like able to do like very simple page in our journal. In this one, for example, you've got like a backward, and on the front you can use the border somewhere, so we will put this one in the bits and pieces. Some with only letters, I will not keep them for the journal. Those ones, they have like nice images that can be used for pages on one side but text on the other side. However, we will make pages and we can cover the text in the journal once we are later on in the stage. So I'll let you go through all your stack of pages. So do two stack, one pages and one bit and pieces, and we can regroup afterwards. One first advice, it's the color chart. Try to keep pages that have the nice color and nice and same harmonious color palettes. Like this one, for example, have a flower theme. They are all in the same like green, blue, shades. So it's very important to keep like coherent look like to your journal once it's finished. For example, those pages which are beautiful that I found in the same magazine don't fit that well, so I will keep them for further projects. The other advice when you go through your stack of pages is keep things that can inspire you. For example, this one, it's a stamp of like geometrical design. We can definitely keep this little piece of paper for journaling and doodling after we are finished with our journal. So keep that in the bits and pieces stack, everything that can inspire you, and it will definitely help you. So now that we are done with the cover, with the stack of paper that we want to keep for like bits and pieces later on, those are 2 little paper bags that I will keep as pages that we got as a present in Flow. So those I will put aside, and now we can start working on the pages itself of our journal. So when we will start cutting the pages, you need to always think that the pages should never be bigger than your cover size open. So it can be smaller inside, and it's actually very nice when you journal and you have like pages of all different size, but it shouldn't go over it. So let's take our stack of paper for the pages. You have to think also that the pages on the 8th size, 8th size, I'll never say it properly, will never have to be cut again, because of course the pages and the cover has been cut initially at the same time when we've cut the magazine. So for this one we will need to adjust the width, because the page is much longer than the size of RTN. However, I will not cut it. I'm going to keep the width and like just fold it so that it makes a little pocket in the journal. So to fold it, like use your cutter like the other way around, not the where it cuts, and you do a very light movement on the paper. So again, like not the way it cuts, and this will make a fold which is very nice and straight. For those who have a puncher, what we can do, it's like a little round punch so that it makes more of a pocket feel. So try to do it at the center of your page. Doesn't need to be too precise. And you can fold this page in two, and that's our first page is done. I mean, nice. We can put it aside. For the second page here, I really like the two parts, so the top and the bottom. So I will cut it in two. I will just fold and use my cutter. This one will be used as a page, so I can fold it in two right away. The text inside, we will cover it when we do the journal itself. And those wordings and quotes, I will keep that to journaling, so I add that to my bits and pieces stack. In this Flow, we always get like paper presents, and in this one we got like very nice little bags, so I would like to use them for pages. So I'm going to open them. For this page, I'm going just to reduce the width because I like it as it is, and use the little band of paper that I am cutting in my bits and pieces to do later on collage with it. So fold this page in two, and that will be something to use. For those ones which are more cardstock, I'm going to eliminate the little words that I don't want to keep and split it in two, one for journaling and one I will use as a page. This one, same thing. So now if you go through your stash of paper, I mean, you should have about like at least about 12 pages altogether, and we can put that aside with the cover. So go through the stack of paper that you have for your pages, and then we can regroup and we will go through together the stash of paper that we saved for bits and pieces that we will use in our journal. So here I've got plenty of little pieces. So to get organized, I've taken a boxes or something in which I will just put my little piece of paper that I want to keep, that I already have. I really like the blue piece of this first page, so I'm going to keep it, like to do some collage. So go through all your stash of little bits and pieces, papers that you have kept, put them aside in the box, and then we can regroup to go along once we have all our paper. So now we all have our cover with all the pages that we have put together in the first step, and now we also have all the bits and pieces for future inspiration, for collage, to finish the journal. So we will put that aside. Also, you may have a few pages that you didn't know what to do with them, so keep them, because we all need paper anyhow. When we do the journal, we always need like additional bits and pieces. So for this second part of the process, we are going to work on the pages, but we will need all the little bits and pieces, so keep them nearby you. And we are going to start giving much more structure to the pages of our journal. So before we jump writing in the pages, for those who feel like it, we can add some additional pockets in our journal. So I'm using mainly some still repurposing some plastics sheets from the, I don't know, it's for binders in France. Usually kids have that at school, or I'm sure you've got something equivalent. We can use grocery bags, like paper bags, and we can use also used envelopes that have a window. So for your transparent pouch, we are going to resize it to make it smaller, because it's very nice when you go in the journal, like to have like small pockets like this one, which are translucid. So we are going to cut the edge that has got like the walls, and which is like not very nice. So let's cut it with a ruler, and like a standard cutter works very well. You can make any size you want basically. So here we are going to cut the width, and then you can make several pockets in your pouch. So I'm usually doing like several size, like mediums and bigger. Okay. So the envelope, I usually keep only the part when I do in journaling, which is like the window. It's kind of glassine paper that is very nice. So I cut around the glassine paper that is glued inside the envelope. And this can be used as a collage element or a pocket. Those that follow me on Instagram have seen, I'm sure that I've put many videos regarding that already. Then the paper bag, in order to use it as a pocket, we are going to open it on a side. So we just cut the side with a cutter. Take all the paper, including the little parts that is remained inside the pocket here. Then on the side we are going with a sizer like to cut the angles so that it's kind of an envelope look. And using glue we will just close the side of this little bag. So now it's like closed everywhere except basically at the top, so you can fold it in two and it's open here. So if you are lucky enough to have a puncher, you can definitely punch this to have like more pocket look for this little bag. So we're going to put it aside, and now we're going to sew or close our transparent pocket. So you've got two ways. Either you can put like washi tape, for example, on the side, or we can sew it with a sewing machine. We can also add like a little decorative element. So I'll look in my stash of like bits and pieces paper, something a bit long. I'm going to fold it in two. You have to do that regularly because of the transparency of the pocket. You're going to see both sides. So try to do as regularly as possible. And then you can like put it around the side of your pocket. I'll show you in this one here it is. And you're going to sew like the paper around the plastic on the edge of the pocket. So now that we have our pockets ready, we are going to go back working on our pages, and we will just add some details, add further pockets, and do some collage, hide some text. For example, on this one I've added pockets and a little yellow band of paper. So here we go, working on them. So for example, on this one, which is like a pure magazine page, there is like a text inside that has got nothing special. So I will cover it using another piece of paper that we have kept aside. So I'll take this one, which is a bit smaller, has got text on the back too. So I'm going to fold it the other way. And then we can like glue them together, both pages. So I'm usually using some UU glue stick, hoo as you say, I think in UK or in US. And don't forget like mainly to do the edges and put a little bit inside, but the edges are important. And I will apply it on the other page, starting with on the center, putting the edge together, and then going flat from the center to the edges so that it doesn't wrinkle at all. So once that's done, I can cut like what is going above the page. I tear it with a ruler and it gives like a smooth edge that I really like. So for the next pages, this we can see like both sides are really nice. So actually I am going to leave it as it is and put that with my stack of pages. and we can decorate it later on. Then I have this cardstock, which is a piece of page a bit thicker. It's nice because it's pink on the side and has an image on the other side. We can see, however, there is a little bit of text on the side and at the bottom, but that's okay. We can like cover it somehow when we do the journal, so I'm going to leave it with my other pages. This one is like the previous one. It has got text on the side that we want to hide. So I'm going to fold like the side and cover the band with a piece of paper. I need to find a piece that is wide enough. So this one seems to work. So when you do that, make sure it's not glued on the center itself of the page. If not, you will have issues when you fold it. So same thing, put some glue like really on the edge of the paper, and then you can apply it along the middle that is going to be folded. Then I'm going to fold and glue this little part here, and we are done for this part. I always like protect, if not I put glue everywhere on the table. So here you go, it's nice and flat. For the second half of the page, I'm going to glue some little pieces here and there to have like a kind of a paper patchwork. So I'll hide the text and leave the nice little flowers at the top. So I'm still applying glue stick, not glue, hoo stick, hoo glue, I'll make it. On the paper to glue. And at the bottom, I'm going to use this little square. It's a bit wider, so let's cut it on the side. And I'm actually not, oh here, little pieces left. I'm actually not going to glue this paper, but I'm going to stitch like the side so that it still makes another little pocket to put some bits and pieces inside. So let's go with the machine. And on the bottom. Cut the little thread, and now we are done, so I can fold the page, and that's done. For the following one, it's like the previous one. It has got text on the side and a nice image on the other one, so I'm going to glue inside like black and white photo that I found and that I like. It gives a nice retro look. So here I'm going to glue it to hide the text. You have to cut it to glue it quite straight. Make sure it doesn't wrinkle. And then we're going to cut what goes over the image. So here it's another technique that I wanted to show you. At the bottom we are going to use this little cardstock that from Flow, same thing, but it's wider, but you can see like from the back it makes a kind of little marks or whatever, I don't know the name, that are a little bit bigger. So we're going to sew the edges and it will make these little thin glue that are wider and that are very nice. So use a paper clip so that when you sew it doesn't move. If you don't have a sewing machine, just glue it on the side. Okay, so now this page is finished. We will fold it nicely in two, and we are going to put it aside along with the other pages that we have made. At this point, I will let you go through all your pages and put some decoration, hide all the text that you want to hide, and then we can regroup for the rest. So let's go together some few more ideas for you to decorate your page. So for example, we've got this little piece of paper that I've got from my stash that we can fix on the side of a page so that it can flip around, like open and close. So the only thing to do is to glue it here, or sew it if you've got a machine. But to do that, what we will need to do first, it's put like a little bit of tape or washi tape like on the paper side by side. And then if you want to sew also flat, you can do that on the tape, over the tape. Cut what is over, and then you've got this little flap, I don't know how to say here. Another idea that we have is to put ribbons. So you can put ribbons on the side of a page flat, like folded as if it was a paper. So you can see here on the side of the page, so you can maintain it with a little bit of glue if you don't have a washing machine, or sew it, same thing, the whole way on the side. I like the zigzag, I don't know the name in English, stitches. The other idea is to put ribbons on the full length of the page, or full side of the page, but here instead of putting it flat, you can like push a little bit, being very careful under the machine so that it makes some kind of wrinkles on the ribbon. So it really works with all kind of ribbons. So really mind your fingers, because I don't want you to be injured because of my journal. So here you can see, let's stop the machine, cut the wire, the thread, and you can see how fluffy it is and how nice it is. It's not regular, but I really like that. So the third idea to put ribbon is to put them at the top of your pages. That goes a little bit over. It makes your journal looks very fluffy, with a lot of little things going around. So here you just need to fold a little bit of material or ribbon and sew it on the side of your page at the top. So for those of you who do not have a sewing machine, you can do the same thing. Put little ribbons with a little bit of glue, and then with a normal thread and needle you can stitch that on your pages, so it's a bit longer. You need much more patience, but that's really like actually like trendy, and you have a lot of that on Instagram. I think it's called like slow stitching, you know, when you do these little things. So when you finish, you have to do a knot. You can do cross, you can do like long stitches, and once you're finished, you'll see that it's a really cool way, because it's really nice to add some ribbons to your pages without a machine. Okay, so now that our pages are done, we can start working on the cover. So we will do little things like hide, for example, the top, you know, everything that you don't really like. We can even like hide like the name of the magazine behind. So to work on it, first, I mean, we have to look at what are the pages that are near the cover so that we can put some paper aside that goes well with that. I think I still have a piece of one of the bag that was in the magazine, the paper bag. So I think I'm going to use that and then I will cover the side later on. So let's glue it with the hoo-hoo glue. I'm going to say it the French way, glue, la colle because it's much easier for me. So same thing, go like side by side, starting like with the middle and then put it really flat to avoid wrinkle. The glue is really nice, and actually if it's not too humid, I mean it really resists really well. So here flat, no wrinkle. We've got the first part of our cover that is already hidden. So now in the back I'm going to use this little card. So it's one of the thick paper, the cardstock that is within flow. So I'm going to cut it to the sides of the cover, and this way it will make even the cover a little bit more rigid, so it's better. When I come to glue more rigid paper, I often use this glue, like the roller. I find that it works more on rigid paper, or works better on rigid paper than the glue stick. So here we go. You don't need to put it all over the place, it's quite strong. So we're going to make it right in the center. And here I've hidden the magazine name. So if we are back on our page, I'm going to finish the side that is not yet covered. I think I'm going to use this little bit of cardstock, same thing for rigidity, that is green. It goes well with both sides of my cover. So I'll cut a band on it that is as wide as I can so that I can fold it easily. So here I'm going to fold it and I'll apply it to the side of the journal. Same thing, it will make it more rigid, so that's really perfect. Just check it fits very well. And it's like matching green, so it's perfect. So I'm going to glue it now with this same roller glue, because again it's cardstock on cardstock, so it makes things a little bit easier. And then apply it like really like side on the side, like straight and perfect. So we need to find something for the top. I'm going to do a little bit of collage of paper, of miscellaneous bits and pieces that I have found. Here I've put a ribbon, I've put some flowers, and so I think our cover is almost ready. So it's nice, it goes well with the rest. So we can now put a ribbon, if you feel like it, around it. I really like to close my journal with ribbon, so it needs to be long enough, and you need to fix it before binding the journal, because if not it makes things a little more difficult. So I'm going to sew it with the machine right in the middle here. So let's make some space. here it's sewn, so I can cut a little bit the threads, and now it's attached to the cover, so it's really nice. I really like it. It makes like a boho, and I can cut like both threads like to the same size, so that it's long enough to be able to make a knot or a bow, I think you say bow, to the journal. So now our journal is almost ready. We've got all our pages, our cover, we've added all the bits and pieces, the ribbons, the papers, hidden all the text, the pockets. So it's ready for binding. However, before binding, just go through the journal, each page, and verify that they are all at the good place. For example, this pocket is a bit low, too low, so I'm going to put it higher. So go through the pages, verify that they are at the correct place in the journal, and then we can bind it. So use a little paper clip to fix all the pages so that they don't move when we bind. And here we go. We can prepare the thread. So I use wax thread because it's a bit softer for the paper, it doesn't tear it, but you can use any kind of thread. If it's really like too thin, just like double or triple it. So you need twice the eighth, I still cannot do it, of the journal, plus a little bit more like for the bows and the needle. This is quite a large needle, and you'll need it like to go through the paper. So I've prepared a little template. I like to have a lot of holes. I've put 6 holes here, holes. So just mark them with a pen or whatever. You will need, for 6 holes, 5 intervals. And once this is done, so you will have to put the template in the middle of the journal. This way it will show you where to do the holes. So again, here I'm using a little tool which is called a poinçon in French. I really don't know how to call that in English. So you do your 6 holes at the same time, and then we go in, out, in, out, in, out. Very simple way to bind the journal. So go through the holes, leave about 10 centimeters, and then in again. So it's very difficult to do that, so I'm using, I think you call that a plier or flat plier or something. So just use it like to help yourself to have the needle go through the whole pages, because sometimes it can be a little bit difficult. So here I'm in again. So here is the plier to help me. I think I've done something not okay with the ribbon, so let's fix that after, because the ribbon is stuck in the thread. So here I'm going the other way because the holes was not accessible, just to make the space, and then I'm finally sewing. So that's the last stitch. So go well on the thread so that the thread is really well tensed, that it's not loose, I would say more. And go up the other way. So it's always a little bit difficult because you always have one thread in it. So here the ribbon is stuck into my wire, so I'm going to fix it. I keep saying wire, but it's thread, so it's stuck in my thread, so I'm putting the ribbon correctly. I'll finish like to go in, out, in with the plier again to help me. And here I come to my last stitch. Here we go. And this is really where we started. So here we will just like make a knot. So I usually do like triple knots so that we are sure that it doesn't go loose or go away. With this kind of thread, I mean, it's really nice because it's a little bit sticky, so it stays very well in place. So after the third knot, I'll just like cut the little thread, and here we go. So the journal is binded. We've got all our pages. I really like it actually. So our journal here is nearly finished. I'm going to show you how I use all the paper throughout those pages that we have left. So here they are, all the pieces that we have not used. So of course I'm going to keep them, all of them or most of them. We can place them in the journals in the various pockets, and this one is glued, so it's not really good here. Okay. And basically to keep those papers like in the journal, first, I mean, we will keep all the little pieces here that are coordinated or in the same kind of color scheme than our pages. So once we journal, later on we will have all this material ready to be used, and which will be coordinated. And that's also nice because we can use it, for example, when we travel and we have everything ready. We just need glue and paper, and paper is already here. So here I'll show you, I had prepared like a little piece of paper that I really liked, and I'm going to glue that on a pocket, existing pocket, so it's like a double pocket, and we can put little piece here. Here I can see that I still have some text, so I'm going to hide it with a little bit of paper that is same thing from our stash, so it's coordinated with the other pages, so it's really nice. It gives a really coherent look to the or harmonious look to the journal. And the other parts that we have not used yet, it's our little glassine window of our recycled envelope. So I've put some glue on the sides and at the bottom, and we can put that on a page, and it becomes like a little pocket, translucent. For the ones that follow me on Instagram, you can see that I've put a lot of little films like to show how to use them. I really like them. So here we go. I've hidden some words that were here and there. So here you can just go through your pages one last time, verify that you have not forgotten any text to hide, and then we will go through our stash of bits and pieces and see how we can fit them in the pockets. I've got kind of anything all mixed up, like inspiration, text, color block, but that will be super useful when we come to journaling at the end. So I would recommend to really keep them in the journal. So here we're going to fill the pockets. For example, those ones I've kept it as inspiration pieces. It can be reused as a doodling when we fill our page. So I'll keep that in the journal. So go along and just do everything you want. I've got this little image of books. I'm not sure what I'm doing with it, but I love it, so I'll keep it. And here we go, some flowers here in this little pocket. Then you can remove them when you want to journal on the page, but at least you've got the material ready to do that. So for example, this little piece of paper, it really reminds me of the other page, so we definitely want to keep that. The color blocks, same thing, I'll put all the blues like at the same place. So go over it yourself and then we can regroup. So here we go, my little journal is filled. I've even got a pocket in between two pages that I've sewed together. So our journal is almost ready now. I really love it. So if you've finished it, you can post it on Instagram, because the good thing is that as we all use different magazines, the journals will all be different, so it's super lovely. So you can post them if you feel like it and tag me. I would love to see what you've done. Thank you so much. Bye.